and it's starting right now. Shot clock.
Don't sleep, you gon' miss your opportunity.
Hey you guys, what's up? Welcome back to your girl's channel. You know who it is. This is your girl Gigi. Thank you for tuning in. If you're watching, that means you're trying to get the lowdown on what happened on last night's episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. It's looking like Melody is trying to get a clean break from Mr. Martell, but after going to see her advisor, it's not looking that way. He's trying to say, you're going to have to stay in this another 12 months if you want that extra $500,000 in her pocket. But we're going to get there. We're going to dissect all of that when we get to that part in the episode. But first, I want to do a quick shout out. We have a new subscriber to the team. I want to give a quick acknowledgement to Miss Jada Harrington. Thank you, girl, for hitting that subscribe button. I appreciate it. And I also want to give a quick shout out to one of my day ones and gonna stay one, Miss Jessica Epps. Hey, girl, appreciate you. You always be showing love down in the comments. I just want to, give a little bit of love back, just to let you know we see each other, okay? So, if there are any new viewers, let me welcome you to the team. Let me welcome you to Big. What's up? Hey, how you doing? While you at it, hit that subscribe button, okay? Don't be stingy. Hit that button down there. You know how that thing work. And let's get into it with this episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. See, I'm already tongue twisted trying to talk about these hoes. So let's get into it. The episode opens up with Tisha going to see Kimmie. She needs to give her the lowdown on what happened with the disastrous of a conversation that she tried to have with Mel. So, Kimmie's talking to her. Kimmie and Maurice, like I always say, happens to be the only mature ones in this group of friends. And they seem to know how to be able to compartmentalize, business, personal, feelings, all that type of stuff. So basically, actually, before Tisha starts getting to that conversation, she comes out with a goodie bag and starts pulling out a whole bunch of XXX, okay? Gummy panties, thongs, remote stuff, vibrators. She talking about, oh, I want to do this for the cabin trip for the couples. And I'm like, where did this Tish come from? I'm like, uh-oh. So basically, Tish said, y'all ain't gonna be out here stealing my man. No matter what I gotta do, if I gotta spice it up in the bed, even though I don't own one goddamn piece of lingerie, for those of you who don't know, a little bit of lingerie, she don't own nothing. But now Kimmie's like, wait a minute, where did this Tish come from? Because they did the flashback, and we all remember Tisha was approved. Like, Kimmie tried to say stuff, and her and Melody was like, nope, don't own it. So now all of a sudden Tisha want to be, Adina Howard, a freak coming out at night. Like, what the heck? So Tisha said, yeah, we know this is going to be a little icebreaker for the groups, but guess what? I ain't got nothing for Melody. I ain't giving her no energy. So Kimmie sits down with her, and finally Tisha's like, yeah, we had a talk, and it went left. She tells her how she smiled when she brought up how she was hurt about her not giving no condolences when her aunt passed away. And Kimmie understood. She was like, probably wasn't the best timing, but some people grieve or kind of handle stuff differently. So for Melody, she definitely is emotionally detached. So she wasn't understanding where Tish was coming from. So at this point, Tish said, nope, not doing it. Kimmie was like, well, is there a way that we can try and fix this? And she's like, look, girl, you looking like you trying to play for the other team. Why are you defending Melody right now? And Kimmie wasn't defending Melody. She's trying to understand both sides. And I get it because I'm kind of that person as well. Like, I tend to be able to understand, both point of views. And that might not always go well with everybody or some people, especially when they're trying to recruit you to their team, which obviously that's what Tish was trying to do. She said, if I'm going to be mad at Mel, you are too, but Kimmie wasn't doing it. So she told Kimmie straight up, look, there's friends for a season, and it's looking like Melody is one of those. And unfortunately, y'all just gonna have to cut business ties and personal ties the way that thing happened. So we move on. Martell is selling the house. He's doing real estate. This is his first time showing the home. It's a good show out. He tells us that, they actually pre-sold the home before it hit the market and above asking price. So, everybody's making a little money, okay? Everybody's getting to the bag. Well, Melody comes. A couple of people, I guess another couple, I don't remember the name, but it's looking like they're actually trying to introduce some new people. I'm guessing that's what this little cabin trip is for, the couples cabin trip, so we can see, the other couples that came in. When Melody walked in, did y'all see that awkward ass hug that she gave Martell? It was like to the side. Like, what was that? And it's like, I hate when Melody walked in. She's like, yeah, me and Martell, things still aren't good, but you know what we do? Like, just like the last time, we put on our game face. We put on our, what did she say? Our A-team attitude or something like that. And it's like the fact that you consider putting up with bull like a game face. Like, girl, I don't know how you do that. Like, you need some therapizing, some therapy. Because the way that you, like, how were you raised, Melody? Like, I need to know. But she goes in, her and Martell put on basically the facade and are talking to the group. And that new couple came in, and that confession was so awkward because Martell was like, yeah, I know her. You know, we go back 20 years in college. You know, she used to cheer for me. And Melody looked at him like, what does that have to do with anything? He was like, well, dang, I was just saying, like, she used to cheer for your boy. I was like, boy, you better quit talking about other women around Melody before she pop you about the back side that bald head of yours. You think you Mr. All Big and Bad? Boy, Melody is showing him, like, she be checking his behind on everything. But nonetheless, they're still in the house, and Kimmie and Maurice happen to stop by, you know, still supporting as they do because they're mature. And Kimmie pulls Melody aside to talk to her, obviously, about the conversation she had with Tish. And she's trying to understand, like, look, is there a way that we can fix this? And Melody puts on her little fake smile, stuff talking about, you know, I went in there thinking that, you know, the conversation was going to go well, but it only went left because Tish took it there. She took it left. And it's like, hold up. Maybe they showed some things or didn't show some things that I didn't see, but who do you guys think took it there first? Like, was it Tish or was it Melody? Now, for me, it was Melody because of her attitude and the unspoken energy that she was giving off. Like, I'm an energy person. Like, don't be trying to come to me and say everything's all right, but your little fake smile and the vibe that you are giving off is saying everything otherwise. So, for me, it was Melody. You guys let me know. But the fact that she's saying, you know, Tish said, oh, that she was fake and she needed examples why. And basically, Tish said, like, she was distancing herself and was feeling neglected. And so Kimmie tries to explain from that point of view, like, okay, if you're saying, you know, you're not okay, but I'm still seeing you out, you know, at events and, you know, speak sponsorships and you're speaking, like, I'm going to be confused. So I am going to feel like it's me. But for Melody, it's like, you know, she can say all day that she cares for me and stuff, but that's all fake. Tish is all words, no actions, which is exactly what Tish said about you, Melody. So, like, y'all both seem to be in the same spot. So now here it is, like, oh, and then Tish plays victim. We can't forget that. She does that Tish thing that Melody likes to call it. And she can't be friends with her. And then the fact that she took it there and bringing up the 3-year girlfriend that Martell had. I mean, you already knew about that, Melody, so it shouldn't hurt your feelings that much. But you weren't that sensitive to her feelings either. So y'all both were doing the same exact thing to each other and expecting each other not to feel a way about it. So now Kimmie's sitting there in the middle stuck because she's trying to play, you know, the middle ground, being neutral between both of them, and both of them are digging their heels in the ground saying, no, it ain't happening. You know, it just, no, not gonna happen. And so now they finish talking, and Maurice takes his time, you know, pulling Martell outside so he can finally get the understanding of what the beef is between him and Marsaue. Now for him, Martell, it's like, you know, I don't have a problem with Marsaue, but he needs to quit all the lying. And then the whole 47 acres thing, like, what the heck, throw that to the wind. Like, them 47 acres gone, like, whatever, y'all figure that out. But ultimately, he's like saying, you know, y'all weren't there for me. You know, y'all weren't, no, Maurice was like, well, wait a minute, do you feel like you and Marsaue had a good friendship? And Martell's reaction was to say, no, we didn't. He's like, it was just Martell gives. It was all one-sided. You know, he felt like nothing was given in return. So Maurice took offense, like, hold on, wait, you're saying that Marsaue never did nothing for you, was never there for you? He was like, no. He was like, you know, he wasn't there when I needed, you know, marital advice. And he even stuttered because he knew it sounded stupid coming out of his mouth. What the hell you want to Marsaue for marital advice if you know he's out there cheating on his wife with 20 girlfriends? Like, what sense does that make? So you are offended because Marsaue was like, oh, I'm not the person you should be asking for that? Marsaue knows he's not the person to be asking for marital advice. Like, what? I'm confused. And then you want to be in the confessional talking about, oh, you know, I don't have a issue with Marsaue, but if he's going to put my business out there, then I can put his out there too. You know, I can bet my bottom dollar he cheated on Tish 20 times in that marriage. So I'm confused. So did Martell put your business out there, or did you? Like, there would be nothing to talk about had you not been doing it, Martell. Like, the fact that you so easily are constantly blaming other people for talking about the mess that you put out there. For example, the 2 phones. You talking to Marsaue, and he's like, oh, let me go get my phone. He's like, it's right here. He's like, no, my other one. If I'm your homie, I'm gonna be like, wait a minute. Well, hey, didn't your wife tell you to cut this stuff out already? Like, I'm gonna be like on the inside, like, homie, come on now. and you were so careless with your cheating at that. You had got cocky 3 years into it, so you feel like you could do whatever. So then you started getting sloppy. So now, of course, other people started talking about your, extramarital affairs. And granted, Marcel might be doing it, but he doing a better job. He knew how to do a one-hitter quitter. You didn't. You continued to have this girl, and a disrespectful one at that, and a girl you couldn't even keep under control because she called your wife on your phone. So Martell, I can't with you. So Maurice, he starts getting upset, like, bro, like, don't do that. We have been there for you plenty of times, but at the same time, this ain't just you. This has to do with your family. And we might not be the best people to talk about that with. Like, you need professional help. I agree with it. So he's like, that was all you, Maurice, more than Marceau. You were the one who gave me the advice. As he should. He knows what he's doing. Like, I can't with you. Like, you and Marceau are one and the same. So why are you asking for marital advice from here, you dodo bird? Like, I can't. With your bald-headed Mr. Potato ass. Like, I can't. So finally, they talk about how one of the friends, Sedan, Sega, whatever his name is, was inviting all the couples because he's the one who actually told Martell about how he heard Marceau and him weren't getting along. So he's like, look, all the couples are coming out to the cabin. Like, let's find a way to, get a resolution. So Maurice was like, yo, we'll all be there. Like, y'all just both need to admit fault because at the end of the day, the truth is somewhere in the middle between what you said and Marceau said, which is true. Like, both y'all niggas be up in arms lying and really be trying to point everybody else's faults while not acknowledging your own. So Maurice finally gets Martell to admit, like, okay, there will be a time for us to have resolution, but I don't like how after that conversation in his confession, he was like, oh, it's not that, it's not all about Marceau's cheating, but it is because you brought it up and made it about that. So obviously you wanted to make that a point and make sure while your house was burning down, at least some of the flame jumped onto his, and at least his kitchen burnt down with your house. Like, I can't with you, Martell. Like, don't sit there and say, oh, it's not about the cheating when you clearly made it about that. Because you're saying, oh, he's put my business out there. Why aren't you accepting your own? Because his wasn't busted yet. His little side chick didn't call his wife yet. So you be the homie and listen to bro code, and his turn will come. Obviously, next season is going to be his Tish season. So let it go, homeboy. Let it go. So moving on, we gotta talk about how Maurice actually is talking to his baby mama. The baby mama, he is still having trouble with her. She is just dragging her feet and allowing Monster to come to Huntsville, Alabama. And just from the tone that she had on that goddamn FaceTime on that screen, her attitude just burnt through the screen. Like, you could tell she's gonna be Miss Petty Betty. And come to find out, who is married? I thought she was just a salty, bitter ex who was single, which would explain a lot because there ain't nothing worse than seeing somebody else move on before you. But it's like, you are married, so why are you still having all this animosity for a man that done been moved on, got married, improved his life, had a glow up? Like, that's obviously why you're mad. But from Maurice's, from what I'm understanding, she's the reason why the marriage didn't work. So was this a situation of, oh, I kind of lost the one, that got away? Like, Maurice is the one that got away? Like, what is it, sis? Because you shouldn't be having this much issue letting your son go when this was already a prearranged, agreement. So, I get it. Like, you have your son, you love him, but what about the fact that Maurice did all that sacrificing? He did all the sacrificing letting, the first 10, 12 years of his son live with you. So, why is it that he can do that and you can't do that in return? Especially, Maurice is right. When he starts becoming a teenager, he needs his father more. And the fact that you're like, oh, he still needs his mom. Yeah, but I'm sorry, mom, he can see you on the summers. Like, it's not that big of a deal. But you're trying to make it about your emotions because then she's like, Kimmie, I don't talk to her. Like, I don't like her. She don't even want to be a parent. But you haven't even have a conversation with this woman. So you already have pre-assumptions about her. And Maurice is like, you haven't even talked to her. So that's already a situation. So he tried to be, Mr. Neutralizer, as he always is. Like, okay, let's all sit down, have a conversation so you two can get the tension out of the way. And, we can call it, even with the co-parenting situation. And then at that, he a better man because he offered to pay for you and your husband's flight ticket to come to Huntsville, Alabama. And the fact, I appreciate Maurice being such an involved dad that he is, so much so that he is willing to put up with the mama, the ex, moving to Huntsville just to see his son. You know, because there are some pros and like there are some give and takes, and he's willing to just take his ex being here, but you aren't considering Kimmie in that situation. Maurice, I get you want to see your son, but dang, homie, like, she can't live in Huntsville. She gonna need to live at a minimum 3 hours away, because if she can live 10 minutes down the street, that woman gonna be up in your house every day, peeking out the window, all up in your business, okay? She gonna be nosy neighbor. And always finding a reason to have her son come back home. Like, I can already tell where this is going. And the fact that your husband, like, what is your husband doing, Kamaya? Like, he's gonna say, oh, we're gonna move all the way to Huntsville, basically for your ex, because that's honestly what it's for. Like, don't you want some alone time with your husband? Let Monster go. Like, I'm sure y'all got plenty of dates that y'all didn't get to go on because you had a son, had to drop him up to school, taking a football practice, summer camp, like all that type of stuff. Girl, go get you some privacy time. Let Maurice take care of his son. Like, you have an involved father. Most women don't even get that after divorce. Like, you are lucky, and you are making it so hard for no reason. So let's move on, because Tish, she trying to do a mother podcast about, you know, how hard it is with motherhood, being busy and stuff. Marsaue calls himself supporting, but he's so confused of how that act goes. He's like, you know, I'm trying this new thing called being supportive. Like, the fact that that is just what came out of your mouth in regards to that, like, it's just baffling me. Like, Tisha, I would have been to knock this man upside the head, the way he treats you in this whole support thing. But in the middle of the conversation, ding dong, guess who's at the door? Mama Tish is home. And so he's looking like, whoa, mama-in-law, what you doing here? Tish is like, surprise. And the face that Marsaue had was like, damn, I can't cheat no more. That was his thought. You could just tell it was running through his head. He knew I'm gonna have to put all the side chicks up in the closet real quick while I'm handling this situation. So he's like, hey, Tish, let me talk to you upstairs. So they go upstairs after mama came in with her dang Babs hairstyle. Y'all, that hairstyle is solid. That thing is stuck up there like a pineapple. Not even a tornado can knock that junk over. It's shiny too, so you know she got the gel all up in there, crunchy and all. But it ain't moving nowhere, I guarantee that. Thing is solid as a house. But nonetheless, they upstairs talking. He's like, why'd you tell me your mama was coming? She was like, we needed a babysitter. You said get somebody to watch the kids. So there you go. And literally in the middle of conversation, she busts through the door. Now that's one thing. I'm sorry, mama. Don't be busting through my whole house. Like, privacy, okay? Respect it. Just give me a courtesy knock, okay? But she's like, hey, I see you wearing your ring. He's like, yeah, I was bullied into it. Bullied? Why gotta bully you into wearing your wedding ring? You married, nah? That's what the mother said. She said, you married, are you not? Like, homie, what's the problem? So she's like, yeah, I had to come and check in on my wife, you know, hearing that you got 20 girlfriends and all. And he's like, whoa. And she's like, hey, mom, time to go put your stuff up. So she's walking down there. And Marsaue's feeling like, oh, you know, the mother needs to get in line. She don't understand how the hierarchy goes around here. Like, hey, look, Marsaue, you might be able to tell Tish what to do, and that you might be the end all, you know, voice of Jesus and shit, but it don't work with Mama Tish that way. Like, bruh, that's a strong woman. Tish might be a little bit more subdued because she wants you so bad, and she wants this whole, like, you know, family bit. But while Mama there, she is gonna be Magnum P.I. all up in they drawers. His phone, that's why Marsaue mad, because he know he can't do all his philandering, as he like to say, that infidelity, as he like to say, while Mama is there. And if y'all go back and look at the face that Tish had while she was standing beside her mama, the way she was looking at Marsaue was like, yeah, try it if you want to. Like, she had such a face of satisfaction because she knew for at least 2 weeks, if he really was messing up, he was going to have his act together, because he did not want the mama there to check him at all. And she let it be known, like, yeah, you may be her husband, but she's my priority at the end of the day. Okay? So Marsaue, let him know. Side bitch alert. Like, let him know. Sorry, can't come this week. Cancel the hotel for Wednesday night. Okay? So we definitely gonna be finding out the mama's gonna be snooping around in their house for the next 2 weeks. So Melody, actually, speaking of mother, has her mom come too. She actually doesn't tell her everything that's been going on. You know, Melody's good at hiding all the stuff going on in her life so she can portray this, you know, perfect family. But at the end of the day, she tells her mama, look, you know, we are separated, we've been sleeping in separate rooms, and it's all because, you know, side chick, cuckoo bird decided to call the phone and ask for me, ask for Martell. Like, the fact that she was bold enough to be like, hey, put Martell on the phone, like, girl, your new BMW should be in the impound, whatever car you got, whatever Martell got you. I would have been Jasmine Sullivan. Bust the windows at your car real quick, okay? You think you got a BMW now, gonna be driving a minivan after this conversation. But the mama obviously is upset. She's like, whoa, somebody need to get checked in this situation, either her or him. Mama, him, that's who need to get checked. We'll check side chick next week, but right now, Martell's the one that need to be checked. But she lets her know that she got convinced to go on the couple's trip to the cabin, and she's not really looking, for anything after the trip, actually. She's just saying, like, we're just gonna go so maybe they can be a little bit more copacetic, but that's all. Like, that's all you getting out of this trip. Martell don't even know he's sleeping in a different bedroom yet. But for the mama, she's like, well, I mean, the fact that he's still in the house, like, that's a good sign. But Melody said, no, but he's upstairs. Like, he barely in the house. And speaking of Martell, y'all, he's going to therapy still. I really like the therapist that he's going to. He actually makes Martell think. But at the end of the day, Martell, he's a chauvinistic man. He's narcissistic. He's very good at manipulating the situation and finding ways that it's everybody else's fault that he did something. But he had a good conversation and realizing, how did he learn how to become a father without actually having a father in his life? His dad was incarcerated. The only type of male model he had in his life was his uncle that we all saw last episode. And, the therapist kind of talked to him about, how it was that he learned. And basically he learned by non-example, like what not to do, And that necessarily isn't always the best impact in learning how to be a dad, a husband, a father. Learning not what to do isn't as effective as seeing the actual example of how you do stuff. Excuse me, you guys, I just had breakfast. But anyways, so he's asking, okay, what do you expect? They get on the topic of the cabin trip, and he's like, the only thing I expect out of it is just hoping to be in a better relationship with Melody so we can be, just cordial. He's hoping just to get a smile from Melody. Like, he wants to say, as he said, make her smile again. But in the process, he wants to be committed to being a better person. He no longer has to lust for other women. Yeah, right, buddy. We'll see how long that lasts until the next broad walk beside you in the open house and she got a big booty. Your ass is looking at her. So, yeah, okay. We'll see how long that lasts. But nonetheless, the therapist had a good point. He's like, look, at least be committed to it. There's a chance that Melody might not like the new person that you're going to become, but that still doesn't mean you don't need to improve. Now, the chances of that happening, the idea of Melody not liking the new person that Martell is going to be, that's such a weird thought to have, because that's all she wants from him. But I think the improvement's just going to be way too late. Honestly, it just is. Melody is talking to goddamn financial advisors. So before that scene, the last scene of that, actually, Maurice talks to his sister, who is his assistant, telling her how he had the bright idea to have his ex come down and sit down with Kimmie. And her reaction was like, wait, whoa, hey, that's dumb. No, why didn't you come and talk to me about this? You're thinking about this from a male point of view, not an emotional ass woman who lost her man's point of view. He's like, wait. She's like, yes, Maurice, not everybody is as mature and, as extensive in thinking as you. You can't expect everybody to handle the situation. As Maurice said, he's like, we're all grown adults. We can sit down and talk. Nigga, no. Have you not seen your ex the way she was talking to you on the phone? You're not picking up on vibes, clearly, at all. That woman is coming to give you hell. That woman is coming to try to put Kimmie in her place. You can definitely tell she's trying to be don't you try to be, his mama, I can do it, you can just tell, she wants issues. And the sister explained it bruh, Kimmie's a woman who wants respect, but at the end of the day has been holding her tongue. And Kamaya is a woman who's hurt. She's still holding on to emotional baggage. You trying to put them in front of each other, that is a bomb waiting to go off. And now Maurice is realizing, oh snap, I might have shit the bed on this one. I might have messed up. So he definitely should have talked to Kimmie, bruh, how do you do that? So you better warn Kimmie, in the next T-minus 48 hours, the mistake you just made. So the final scene, like I said, you guys, is Melody going to talk to the financial advisor. He's been knowing her and Martell for a long time, so he's also kind of a mentor as well. She sits down and is like, look, I'm divorcing Martell, and he's like, huh? like the old school, like, oh wait, no, like you can't be doing it. Like he's like, I watch you guys like build a dynasty, and she's like, well, in order to have a dynasty, your partner and you have to be on the same page. Like Melody be throwing them burns out there like with no remorse, like she just has had it. So she's like, look, I want to sell our assets, you know, pay everything off and split it middle down to even. So he's telling her, look, you know, how long you been living in this current home? She's like, a year. And he's like, well, ma'am, he's like, I would advise you to wait another 12 months on the divorce. And she's like, wait, 12 months? I'm barely staking in it now. She's like, no, I'm not doing it. I don't want to just say I've been married 30 years putting up with some BS like the old people do. This ain't a good marriage. Well, I'm not going to stay in an unfaithful behind marriage for 12 more months. Just for $500,000 more dollars. Now, you pregnant now, Melody, so you just made some type of decision. You were irresponsible. Obviously, y'all were having sex raw. You didn't have no birth control. I'm assuming you didn't because you got knocked up. So I think you might be thinking about this from the long haul. Like, you want to say money ain't it, but is it really? Your actions say otherwise. So now the man, he trying to give advice to my, oh, you know, men sometimes don't think about the details, say I love you and all this type of stuff. And she's like, nope, he doesn't. Send me roses, try to take me out on dates, calls me every day to talk to me. So he's like, what's the issue? So she's like, you can tell she wasn't trying to give like the real deal, obviously problem. But at the end of the day, Melody said, I can't put up with 12 more months. Like, I might not be able to do that, sir. And immediately as he starts giving advice to, oh, you can try to work it out. She said, oh, that's my cue. She said, that's a good day. Thank you for helping me out. I will see you next time. Thank you. She got up so quick, fast, and in a hurry. She said, I'm not doing it. I'm not listening to anybody else try to tell me to stick with this unfaithful ass man. So that's where the episode ends. Melody says she ain't sticking through it. You guys tell me what you thought about the episode. It's actually quite subdued. I think next week for sure is where a lot of the bombs are going to start going off. So be ready for that. Drop down in the comments, tell me what you thought about this episode. You guys, the beef between beef between Tisha and Mel. Y'all give me the lowdown on that. Tell me what you guys think. And I will see you guys next time. Thank you for tuning in. Of course, like this video and subscribe to your girl's channel. And I will see you next time. Deuces.